So, um, I'm starting a series called YouTube Rewind. Pretty much, it's kind of gonna be like a journal of what happens each year. This was gonna be the first video that I'm doing. So I will be sharing pretty much what my ups and downs were, how I got through it, and yeah, pretty much. Um, for the next video, I'm gonna be doing it for 2021, and probably drop a video for every 3 months. Um, you know, just cause maybe some people out there they could use, you know, some good advice, words of courage or anything like that. So last year in 2020 is when coronavirus hit. Um, I met a I don't even know how we met, to be honest. All I know is we started talking through Snapchat. Um, Most likely I found her. I don't remember how. I don't remember when. We both don't even remember. But if you guys were, if we were friends on Instagram, then you seen me post pictures of her, stuff like that. A special individual. We had met through Snapchat, and the first few days, it was crazy. We had a lot in common, stuff like that. And so, I finally asked her if she wanted to, go out and hang out or whatever. She actually ended up responding, and she actually showed up, and yeah, she was a really, really chill girl. Um, Young. I'm a bit older, but she looked like she looked like the same state I was in, if that makes sense. In the state that I was in, me and my baby mama was broken up. Haven't really dated for a while, anything like that. Talked to a few females like that, something like that. Nothing too serious. Nothing too serious. So, but on the other hand, had, I believe, just gotten out of a relationship a few months prior. And, so she was looking for, I believe what she needed was a friend. And, that's what we were in the beginning. We were friends. And it was cool. We had a lot of stuff in common. Becoming friends, it was something that I also needed because I had just gone through court with my baby mama for, my daughter. And, that whole thing could be stressful. Going through court, having somebody trying to take your daughter to another state when you were taking care of them the whole year, and stuff like that. But, it is what it is. So yeah, we don't remember how we crossed each other's paths. Somehow we just started talking on Snapchat. Like I said, it was going really cool, all that stuff. Um, we kept talking after she came and hung out, and then I made a remark to her one night after hanging out at a hookah bar, I believe, and I said something I shouldn't have said. Calling anybody toxic, especially if you're growing or even trying to grow, that could be hurtful, because it's like, how am I so toxic? I'm trying to be a better person, anything like that. The one thing you don't do when somebody's trying to better themselves is break them down. You don't do that, especially if you guys are friends. So, I was jokingly saying that just because I was scared of the feelings I was feeling for her. I don't know if that makes sense. It probably doesn't. But she took it seriously, and the way that I know she took it seriously is because when we got in a relationship, she brought it up that I had said that, and it is something that I wish I didn't say, because even when I tried to fix it, she wouldn't believe me that it was just something that was said, and that's, I guess, one of the reasons why people say you got to watch what you say to certain people, because they will hold on to it, they will clutch onto it, and they will hold it, even if you don't mean it. So, that's some advice right there. Don't say something that if you don't know that they're gonna take it a certain way. Which this was in the phase of us, learning about each other, stuff like that. And so, a few months later, we kept hanging out. And, my daughter was gone at the time. She was gone at the time, out of state, for the custody issues. It was her mom's turn to have our daughter, which was for the summer, since I have a full time. And it was my first time going through that, and she was there. And is something that I am forever grateful for, because I went through the hardest time going through that for my first time. And I don't think she knows how much it even meant to me. I expressed how much it meant to me. I don't think she would even, she can't even probably fathom how much that meant to me, how much I needed that. And so if she watches this, I know that we're not talking, but thank you. And later in this video, I'll explain why we're not talking, what happened, this and that. So we kept hanging out, and it was something that I needed. And, it was something that I believe we both needed at that time. Me catching feelings, getting scared. I do stupid stuff. If I'm really, really liking you, I will push for a relationship. I don't let time, make the relationship, if that makes sense. If you're hanging out with somebody and it's eventually going to be a relationship, I don't wait for, that time. I push for it. But yeah, and that's pretty much what happened. And so we got together, and everything was great. Everything was great. Her being out of a relationship, I believe we jumped into a relationship way too fast. Especially when somebody doesn't heal from being hurt, and her ex was still in the picture. He was still hitting her up. She didn't want nothing to do with him, but because that's her business, and what happened between them, it just wasn't something that was good for her. But low-key, I got jealous because he was hitting her up and she would respond. But it was because he really didn't have anybody, he was depressed and stuff like that. And, he did the whole depression thing. And so, I sucked it up. Didn't really express my jealousy towards it. Shoved it down inside because, she explained stuff which, was needed. A few months into the relationship, we were talking. We were pretty much, because we were with each other, but not officially. So one day, seeing her talk to guys through Snapchat, DM, stuff like that, her, having a hickey on her neck when we were acting together, but just not official. I got mad at that. And this is the thing that I'm always about. If you're with me officially or not, you don't go around and mess with other dudes. You know what I'm saying? Or even talk to other dudes like that. You can have your guy friends. I'm cool with that. But at the end of the day, if that's not the type of female I've never wanted in my life. And so when I expressed that towards her, she was pretty much saying, well, we were not together, this and that. And like, why would we act like we are together if we're not going to be together? Like, I like you, this and that, And so after, us talking and everything, we made it official. We were, officially dating. And so, one thing she's always expressed was she does not ask for help. She doesn't like asking for help. She doesn't do that. She doesn't want help, this and that, this and that. So she had her own place. This is where we were hanging out, besides, going to hookah bars and stuff like that. And so, she fell behind on rent. And, I'd be washing her dishes whenever I'm over, trying to help clean. And, like, sometimes she wanted to be independent. But when it came down to it financially, when she needed help, she would get upset because I didn't offer. Looking back at a lot of stuff that happened between us, communicating, it could have fixed a lot on both of our ends. So, that would happen, and I brought her into, the shirt business and my decal business, and she was really good at it. She got better at it than I did. Which, I actually love seeing her grow, her passion for it and all that stuff. Low-key just reminded of me, how, what I'm saying? And we were growing something that was authentic. We were building something that was authentic. We had something that was authentic, and we were out there just, making decals, shirts and stuff like that. People would hit us up, through all kind of stuff. So we were doing that together. We were buying equipment together, this and that. And, so, the little fights that we had, she would always run. She wouldn't call it running, but it was running, because she would break up. A few days later, we'd text back to, we'd make up. Break up, make up, break up, make up. And it was to the point that it just seemed normal. When, I don't want to say normal, because, it was the love that kept bringing us back. But I don't think she really was strong enough at that point in her life to not run. We'd be broken up, and she'd be out, and, something would happen. She'd call me, and bam, I'd be there at 3 a.m., help. When she needed help moving with, any of her family, I'd be there. Bam. Like, it was no biggie. And it was because of the love that I have for this girl. Which, it's having that kind of love is awesome. But when it's not reciprocated, that's the sucky part. Because I feel like the love that I gave was not reciprocated. That's pretty much what broke me. So, she was there for me. She met my daughter. We were so, it was starting seemed like it was going to be a family thing. We even actually tried for another kid. Over and over. And, even as much as I wanted a kid, I was willing to sacrifice not having a kid with her. And if you know me, that's big. And for me, willing to sacrifice that, that's how you know I was in real love with this girl. Then I don't remember exactly when, but she went to Oregon, with her high school friend that, he's been in the family for, years, and they call it their brothers. They're technically, no, not technically, but, they call us each other, brothers and sisters, whatever. I met that dude. He was cool. Had nothing against him. It was mostly how she made me feel about him. Had nothing against dude because he was a really cool dude. Stuff I could say about, I'm just gonna leave it what it is. But it was things that I would notice, pick up. But even when I told her about it, she was so blindsided. But everything is always somebody else's decision. I never talked bad about dude or anything like that. I'll put that out there right now. It was just little stuff like, like what? Like, that's kind of weird. Not even weird. It's just like, why would you not stand up for yourself at this, at certain things? Why would you drop anything at any time, but then when you have a man, you don't do the same for him? Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of stuff like that. That's what kind of bugged me. It wasn't him. It was how she reacted. And so I started picking up on little stuff, and I was like, all right, whatever. So, her cousin came down, visited. I picked her up. We had this talk, and, she was just upset at everything. And, I was the one to save her, but then at the end of the night, I was the one that lost her. She walked home. She had me drop her off on the side of the road. She walked home. Yeah. Just, she was the type of person of, you have to watch your words around her, because she picks up on little stuff and she will make it into a bigger issue than what it was. Even if you say something and don't mean to, you try to say it a certain way, but it doesn't come out right. But then you try to fix it. It's no fixing it. What you say is what you say. That's how she works. So with me, I was never able to always keep my words, say the right words. And that's what sometimes got me in trouble and fights, stuff like that. But we will always make up. Always. Fast forward, she lost a car and I was driving her everywhere. And, it wasn't a big issue. I never complained, I was happy to do it for her. That's my girl. Why wouldn't I, And we would get in stupid little fights. And, stuff like that. So slowly, it was getting to the point where she just wanted to be friends. And when she told me that, I told her no. No, like, I love you. No, it's either you lose me or we fix this. You know, how could you be friends with somebody that you love? You know, so it became down to that, and I stood my ground with that for a good, I want to say good month, maybe a month and a half. Then I caved in and agreed. But once again, we weren't acting as if we were friends. We couldn't be friends. She'd hit me up and we would go, hiking or to a place that she goes to. And, you could tell that us just being around each other, we can't just be around each other. If that makes sense. And I haven't had that type of love in a long time. To where I hang out with you and I just always felt something. She always felt something. I don't know if I can't even say if she really always felt something, but I always felt something. But we would try to be friends, and by the end of the night we would be kissing. It just, the friendship, the whole thing, it started to turn into a friend with benefits type of thing, because we couldn't just be friends no matter how hard we tried. We'd go play pool, and a bartender with big boobs would try to do the whole cleavage thing. How can I help you? Blah blah blah. My eyes would be glued to her, not the bartender. I wouldn't even look at the bartender. I look at her and order the drinks and keep looking at her. My eyes were only for her throughout the whole relationship. So stuff like that kind of happened, and so halfway through the year, I believe, I want to say, I don't even know what months, but it's pretty much halfway through the year, is when we were still friends. We were still like doing shirts together. At certain times I would tell some stuff was off. I just never knew what. One night I was at a bar and, just got some weird vibe. And it's really weird because I only picked that kind of stuff up from her. I pick up vibes from, other people, but not strong. Not strong. She's been the strongest one out of my whole life that I've picked up her vibes and was able to be like, yo. But like I said, I was at a bar, with some friends that she introduced me to, and I remember talking to. I became friends with the bartender there, and she would talk to me about the whole situation, about the whole breakup and all that stuff, and being friends with her. And one night I was there, I was like, I got a weird vibe, hella weird vibe. I was like, let me call her. So I called her, went straight to voicemail. Called her again, went straight to voicemail. I said, that's weird. Her phone's always glued to her hand. Always. She's not picking up. So, I told one of my friends, I was like, yo, you want to go, do something? I'm gonna go over there and check on her, see if she's okay, whatever, blah blah blah. Knock on the door, and yeah, I'm not gonna say exactly what happened, but got into a situation, and it just didn't feel right. She started not to feel genuine, and if you're if anybody, she has the freedom to do whatever she wants, no matter if we were messing around or not. But if you're gonna act as if, especially, you're gonna act as if I was the bad person for coming over because you had company. You know, just the vibes that I picked up, it was different. And so I ended it right there. Doesn't matter if I was jealous. Doesn't matter if I was too in love with her. I ended. Because my mental health at that point, it was at stake. My mental health was more important at that moment than the love I had for her, which was a lot. So 2020 coronavirus. It was a good year. It was a very good year. I fell in love. Tried to have a kid. Has some good memories. Met an awesome chick. Met some cool people. Made me know what I want for my future. "2020 wasn't that bad, despite the heartbreak, which took me forever to get over. I don't regret none of it. I hope she's doing good. I still got love for the girl. And I hope she's growing. I hope she's chasing her dreams. She wanted to be in Oregon. We were supposed to move to Oregon. I hope she's out there. I really do. I would hope she got everything she wanted. So, YouTube. That is 2020 for me. 2021. That's a whole nother story. It'll be up in a few weeks. Alright guys, till next time, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'll see you guys later.